Okay, so today we're going to still be looking at inequalities, but we're going to be looking at what we do to solve when there's variables on both sides. So here's what I'm noticing at this point. We overall know the steps. There's some specific situations that are getting us. We rewrote down those in general, like if we see parentheses distribute, if we see like terms combine them, right? We did that yesterday. So if you still need those steps, you can either flip to your notes from yesterday or flip back in your notes from when we did multi-step equations, right? Multi-step and variables on both sides with equations. But I think we want to put most of our attention on just making sure some of those negatives and combining like terms pieces we have together. Okay? So let's say we are given this problem. Okay, so we go down our list. Right, we have -3 times 4 minus 2y plus 8. What inequality symbol is this? Greater than or equal to 2y minus 12. Okay, so if we look at this, are there parentheses? Yes. So what do we do if we see parentheses? We distribute. So we are going to be very intentional right now because this is a place that's getting us. So if we're going to distribute right here, -3 times +4 is what? -12. What number is this right here? -2. So -3 times -2 is positive 6y. Does that help without having that double sign? I mean, that's how we presented it before, but are we okay with that? Everything else is just falling straight down. No other parentheses, so we just have a +8 greater than or equal to 2y minus 12. Step 2 says if there are any like terms, we want to get them together. Yes, Leah? Okay, if there are any like terms, we want to get them together. Yep. There you go. Any like terms we need to get together?
-12.
Okay, so Kaylee, how do you know that we want to get -12 and +8 together? What tells us we want to do that?
Oh, because they're on the same side.
Okay, so they're on the same side. How come like I can't do the 6y with it?
Because it's 6.
Right, so we're looking for like terms in this step, correct? No y, no y. So we can put them together. So what does a -12 and a +8 give us? Am I adding these two things or am I subtracting them? Adding, so -12 plus 8. Okay, is going to give us a -4. We okay there? Step 3 says, are there like terms on both sides of the sign?
Yes.
Yes, so what do we need to do next? Okay, so we're talking about our y's now. Why do we want to get our y's together first and not our numbers together first? True, we do want to get the y's on the same side, but would it be wrong if I added 12 over here first? No, right? Mathematically speaking, we said that would be fine. But we always have this underlying objective that we didn't want to empty aside. And right now where we have the freedom to decide which variable we want to move, right? We all decided earlier that we sort of liked that preference. Because as soon as you added that 12, you were then forced to move the 6y, and that might not be the one you want to move. Okay, so do we want to move 6y or do we want to move 2y? 2y, we feel okay with that? Inequalities get us in a little bit more of a stubborn situation. right? Lots of us have said we want to move whichever one's smaller. Still okay, but you might still have to do some changing of the inequality sign because we also always want that variable first. Okay, so you do have a little bit of a catch-22 of, well, this might be smaller, but then I have to deal with a negative, or then I have to flip. It just is what it is. Okay, so follow your math through. So if we move this 2y, is this 2y positive or negative?
Positive.
Positive. They are on opposite sides of the inequality, so we need to use the opposite sign to get them together. So remember, we're looking at this entire thing. Positive 6 minus 2 is what? 4y. So we'll have negative 4, a positive 4y. What do I have left over here? Negative 12. Excellent. What am I going to do next?
Plus 4.
Just have to be careful with our signs here, right? So 4y is greater than or equal to negative 8. Then what?
Divide by 4.
Divide by 4. Is this a reason to flip the inequality sign?
No.
I'm dividing, and there's a negative.
Not by it.
But I'm not dividing by a negative, right? I'm dividing by a positive, so I'll get y is greater than or equal to negative 2. Yes?
So at the very beginning, I actually did, so I did it twice. I erased it because I thought I got it wrong, but I did it instead of combining negative 12 and positive 8, I just subtracted 8 and then combined.
Yep, so that's what you did over here. That seems to be what your brain is thinking first. That's not wrong because you're still using the inverse operation. Okay, the only reason why, again, my guidelines sort of suggest you combine like terms is because if there was multiple numbers over here, well, here, let me show you what. Six. I tried to keep a lot of them positive for you. I was looking out for you. 6 plus 2 times 4y minus 5 is greater than or equal to 3y plus 7 plus 5y minus 2. Okay, so step 1, are there parentheses?
Yes, distribute.
So we're going to distribute. What number are we going to distribute? 2. So we'll get an 8y. 2 times negative 5 is? Negative 10. Everything else is coming straight down. Okay, so Brayden, if you do not combine like terms here, and you decide to add this 10, where do you want to add this 10 over here?
Can't really.
I mean, you can as long as you only add it in one place.
Yeah.
So you could choose to add 10 here and then add 10 here, and it would be okay, but that's where it starts to get a little bit more confusing and overwhelming,
Yeah.
which is why we suggest that you combine like terms first. Okay? Mathematically speaking, you are not wrong. So step 2 says to combine like terms. So do we have any like terms to combine?
Yeah.
Sure do. So what does 6 and a negative 10 give us? Anything to combine over here?
Yes.
Is it wrong if you just go ahead and combine all of them at the same time and then just write down? Like, or do you have to like do like that and then you combine the 7 and then everything? You just
You can do it in one step. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we have variables on different sides. How are we going to move a positive 8y? Okay, what is 8y minus 8y? Nothing, right? 0. What is 8y minus 8y? Still 0. So the only thing that we have left is negative 4 is greater than or equal to 5. Right? I told you this before. When the variable cancels out, do not make a variable reappear. So who remembers our rules as to how we decide what answer we want to put here?
If they're equal, if they're like the same. Well,
Okay.
It's different that it's greater than or equal to.
Right, so before the statement wasn't just that they were the same, it's that if it was a true statement. So is this true?
No.
Is -4 greater than or equal to 5? No. That is a false statement. Right? And if it's a false statement, what do we write down? No solution. Now, here is where you have to be very, very careful. Because again, it's not based on if they are the same number, it's based on if it is a true or false statement. So if you solved an inequality and you got this as an answer, true or false?
False.
False. So we would put no solution. True or false?
True.
True. And we would write down what? All solutions, all real numbers. Either of those are fine, right? So if we got a true statement, we would say all solutions are all real numbers. Okay. Do you remember talking about those two options? So here's